Hello, everyone. This is Mr. Informal bringing you another podcast. We are on the 43rd edition of the Mr. Informal podcast. Yes, that is right. That is 4-3. We are on the halfway mark of reaching 100. Hopefully, I do reach that. But I think I may. But we'll see. So, these are the topics for today's podcast. The biggest news this week is Kim Jones, the men's creative director and designer for Louis Vuitton Men, is leaving Louis Vuitton. Number 2, retail and algorithm and how they affect each other in terms of sales and also demographics. Number 3, artificial intelligence and shopping and how they relate to one another, and also how AI can also help in regards to customer service. Last but not least, using your face as your airline ticket. That is going to be interesting. I do have a very strong opinion about that. And so, let's start the Mr. Informal 43rd podcast. So, it was announced this past week that the men's creative director and designer of Louis Vuitton, Kim Jones, is leaving Louis Vuitton. No one knows where he is going for his next career, for his next venture, or his next move. Certain companies are wanting to hire him, but no confirmation as of yet. No one really knows why he's leaving Louis Vuitton. Maybe he's leaving Louis Vuitton because maybe he's tired of Louis Vuitton, maybe politics, or maybe he's not receiving enough money, or maybe he just wanted to start his own business, but no one really knows. But the only thing that we know is how he affected fashion. Well, certainly the biggest one is the collaboration between Louis Vuitton and Supreme, mainly on the men's side. That was the biggest one because we are looking at streetwear and high-end wear combination, and it happened in 2017. There was a mass hysteria, there was panic, there were fights, there were very long lines, and you certainly had to wait in line for it. And that was the biggest thing, was that Louis Vuitton collaborating with Supreme. Other than that, in terms of clothing wear in the men's Louis Vuitton, I did not see anything special. Maybe I saw the fragment design being something, but I did not see anything that caught my eye. I mean, what influence did this person did in terms of fashion as a whole? I mean, I didn't see anything special about it. Maybe I'm missing something. I mean, the only notable thing was that, as I previously stated, was collaborating with the streetwear. That was it. And it is now acceptable for a high-end brand to collaborate with streetwear or to design something for the streets, which I don't understand why you want to design for the streets. A design is a good design, and the good design is a good design. So, I mean, if he ventures out on his own, great. He has the clientele. He has especially the star power to pull in celebrities in regards to marketing, in regards to influence. So that's not a problem. Also, in the fall and winter 2018 collection, when he finally showed himself after the presentation of the collection, he had Naomi Campbell and Kate Moss basically holding hands with him and to the runway, basically. So basically say as a goodbye gesture, which I thought it was a nice touch. And obviously standing ovation because everyone knew that was his last show. So we'll see what he is up to next. But in regards to influencing or maybe changing of trends, there wasn't really much that I thought that Kim Jones did in regards to fashion as a whole. Maybe I'm missing something. I guess Louis Vuitton, to me, Louis Vuitton men's collection has never been strong. The only thing that Louis Vuitton has always been strong as was accessories. That was it. So, moving on to the next topic, we got retail and algorithms. So, there's a lot of retailers, including online retailers, using algorithm to collect and calculate what kind of consumer their products should be targeting. Now, whether that be in the store, survey, or collecting data in the internet, whenever you're searching something, go to a particular online website, so and so. So, a lot of retailers now, actually, here's a simile or a metaphor or whatever you want to call it. Actually, it's more of a metaphor here. If you ever watch basketball or if you into sports, they have these analytics, and these analytics basically tells the GM, the trainers, the coach, their field goal percentage, how much points does this player affect the game or create, even on the defensive end, what does this person do to stop the other opponent from scoring, and if he's not in the game, how much does it affect the game, especially in the opponent, and so and so. It's basically exactly like that in retail. These algorithms are calculating millisecond, microsecond, so and so, and they're giving it to these people who translate all this data, these numbers, and giving and present it to the boss or the marketing team or the business, telling them, hey, this is what the consumer is looking for every second, every hour. This is the percentage of the amount of the consumer that are looking for the same type of product. And that's pretty big. If you have that algorithm, and there's already are, whether it be Hot Look, Stitch Fix, all these subscription plans type fashion retailers, even online, I mean, they've got it down to a T, or not exactly to a T, but they've almost got it down where they're starting to know their consumer or target demographic much better than before through these algorithms, through these datas, these numbers. And now it's starting to become easier to give what the consumers are looking for. But at the same time, just because you have that data, does that mean that you're gonna react to it? You know, because fashion, you gotta produce it and then give it to the consumer, and that's not a very quick thing. That takes months. So in this fast world of ours, it can literally take months for the person to get the product. That's why you see these things coming up. If you see in the runway it's available the next day, that it's not that easy. I mean, I'm sure there's a couple companies that have done it well, but that's not really easy, because for a consumer to like that product, you have a certain amount of time for that consumer to be interested and still be interested. But if it takes you months, then suddenly you lose that consumer, and that consumer will never be interested, and now you have a loss of sale. So when they collect all these things, their algorithm is telling them, hey, this is what's going to be hot in this next season or in the next year. This is the next trend. So now when they're starting to see those numbers, a lot of these brands are starting to become prepared. So when that trend finally hits, they actually have the product in stores or available online. And that is quite interesting. It is a game changer, but at the same time, a consumer's brain or mindset will easily change. And in this fast world of ours, the attention span is shorter than ever before. So you have to make that quick decision if you are a boss and willing to take that risk if you are going to go for it. And if you're not, then there's a potential loss of sales. Not only that, there's a potential of you not being ahead of the trend, ahead of the market. So there's a lot to lose here. And on the third topic, which relates to the second topic, is artificial intelligence. Alibaba has put, and I'm sure you've seen it, even in American Express when you call, or even you go to a certain website with this, they have this online chat. Instead of a real person, it's actually an artificial intelligence answering your questions. A set of questions that's already been trained for certain words, certain keywords, certain sentences that could answer it for you. It's not a real human. So when that happens, obviously we all want to talk to a real human, and I don't want to talk to any type of robot. But when you have this, like simple questions such as, is this available in stock? Then things like that can easily become an AI type job. But it also means it's a reduce of workforce, but in the business mindset of a boss, the reduce of employment or the reduce of employees' expense could be reduced. Thus, your profit margins is actually goes up. But at the same time, there's no genuine or authenticity to the customer service, at which a lot of people are bringing up. But in Alibaba's case, and they already did this in China, where a lot of these online help services, these chat room windows, are actually run by AI. It just so happens that it's absolutely working well. It's the same thing that when you ask the Amazon Echo, Alexa, order this for me, it's doing the same thing. It's not a real human, it's just an AI basically trained to answer you, looking for those certain words and certain keywords that programmers, engineers inputted in the system. And it will revolutionize customer service, and it will also revolutionize in regards to shopping. If you want to know if it's stock or simple questions like that, and in certain discounts. But as of right now, it's still young in the game. It's still in its infancy, but so far there are few brands that are integrating this, and they're starting to see the results here. And with that, your operating cost is reduced. And I wonder what will happen once this is actually start to get better. So if you are looking for a new job, certainly AI is where it's at right now. And so we are on the last topic of the Mr. Informal podcast. So in recent news this week, a lot of airlines such as Qatar or even British Airways are using face scanner as your ticket. So basically, instead of a paper ticket or even using your cell phone, the gate has this scanner which scans your face, and then it lets you pass or not. So that your face is suddenly becomes your ticket to your flight. A lot of people, such as the politician, have been made aware and raised this up that this is against privacy in regards to the American people, and I would agree to that. And a lot of the airlines are testing this out, stating that this will protect people from identity theft. It also protects people from terrorism, any criminal activity, or any wrongful person getting into the flight. So it's a big debate. But for me, which side am I going to be on? Honestly, I don't like it. I do agree when it comes to the privacy. I don't like the fact that this scanner is scanning my system and suddenly my face will become be in a database somewhere and it can be searchable. And that is absolutely scary to me, because that is a big brother type thing that is basically like their born identity, where they can face match you in their system. Not only that, I mean, it's a waste of money about how they're spending all this money on a scanning system. What's wrong with just buying a ticket and just giving me a paper ticket? I mean, anybody could just become a terrorism nowadays. People don't understand that just because your record is clean doesn't mean that the next person who has a clean record doesn't mean that they're not gonna blow up an airline or kill a bunch of people. Anything can happen. Honestly, I'm more afraid of getting hit in the street crossing the crosswalk than some terrorism taking over a flight. And it's absolutely ridiculous. And the fact that with this system, it will also take out a lot of employments, that if whenever you meet and greet at the gate, you show your ticket and they scan your ticket and they let you in the gate. So obviously a lot of employments will be reduced. As you can tell, a lot of things are being automated, and same thing with this one. It's no different. But the fact that my face is being saved on a database somewhere and can be used at any time, at any rate, will be a problem to me because of that privacy issue. What if they face matched somebody else, but then it wasn't me just because I look like him? Now that's another problem. And in the world of technology and also automation, privacy will always be a big thing. But the fact is that the biggest weakness of any technology has always been humans. Because there's a human emotion, there's also human interaction, and humans are sometimes unpredictable. Because you don't know what they're thinking. They have a mind. It's not like artificial intelligence or even robot where they only know one thing, but they only know what's right, but they don't know the other side of it. They don't understand the human emotions of it. And for anybody who say that, oh, it's there to protect us, so and so, it's not even about that. I mean, if you really want to protect somebody, why don't you just every flight have a cop in every flight? What's wrong with doing that? But then again, a cop could be a bad thing. Cops these days are killing people without any regards to their life. But in any case, this type of technology is in its experimental stage. It hasn't been integrated to all airlines and all airports. So we'll see what happens this year when it comes to this technology. And so that basically concludes this podcast of the Mr. Informal 43rd edition podcast. I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoy it. And if you have any questions, let me know. If you want me to talk about something, let me know too. And so I will see you in the next Mr. Informal podcast. Bye-bye.